Have you ever felt that you are destined for something more, that you possess an inner force waiting to be unleashed, but you don't know where the key is? What if I told you that the life you desire is not a dream, but a mindset, just a shift in consciousness away? If you feel like you are giving your all and success is eluding you, it's because the one thing standing between you and that life is the way you think. Your mind is not a simple archive of memories, but a vibrational field that is, in this precise instant, attracting what your deepest beliefs dictate. This is not just another self-help video. This is the first chapter of a 5-lesson series titled The Secret Code to Success. The 5 lessons no one taught you about your subconscious mind. The definitive guide to rewiring your brain, dismantling subconscious barriers, and unlocking a level of success and clarity that most people never experience. Through these 5 essential lessons, we will address the complete transformation of your being, from the fundamental architecture of your mind and the confrontation of your fear and self-sabotage, to the development of unwavering discipline, the mastery of focus, and finally, the mental fortitude and resilience necessary to sustain lasting success. We will begin where every transformation process must start: beliefs, the foundation upon which your entire reality is built. If you don't understand how your convictions are formed, you will always be operating with the software of an older version of yourself. What we are going to do together is align you from the inside so that your manifestation is an inevitable consequence of your truth. Are you ready to stop being the spectator of your life and take control of your creative consciousness? If this idea resonates with you, give me a like so this message reaches more souls, and share in the comments what the deepest limiting belief you are ready to rewrite is. Let's begin. The architecture of belief: how we shape our reality. Beliefs are the invisible forces that govern the architecture of our reality. More than simple thoughts, they are internalized convictions that act as a lens through which we filter every experience, event, and challenge in life. These convictions dictate whether we see failure as a learning opportunity or a reason to give up, and whether we trust our ability to shape our future or resign ourselves to fate. While we assume they are based on reason, beliefs are a complex mix of personal experiences, social conditioning, and subconscious programming. To achieve lasting transformation, it is essential to understand how they are formed and how they can be reprogrammed. A belief is a mental representation of reality that our mind has accepted as true through repetition and emotional reinforcement. They are built piece by piece from childhood, shaped by caregivers, teachers, peers, and social labels. If a child is constantly criticized, they may internalize a belief in their inadequacy, even if they are as capable as another child in a more positive environment. Repetition is the key mechanism. The more we encounter an idea, the more likely we are to accept it as truth. Therefore, the brain, seeking consistency, actively reinforces these ingrained beliefs while ignoring or discarding contradictory evidence, a phenomenon known as confirmation bias. The surgeon and psychocybernetics pioneer Maxwell Maltz understood this perfectly. The key to changing a habit or a behavior is to change your self-image. Once your self-image changes, everything else is consistent. Beliefs are inherited and deeply embedded in our psyche through the environment. Absorbing a parent's fear of financial instability, for example, can generate a deep fear of taking risks. Wealth pattern expert T. Harv Eker explains this phenomenon. Your money blueprint is like a money thermostat. If your thermostat temperature is set to $20,000 and all of a sudden you get $100,000, you will self-sabotage until you are back to $20,000. Similarly, social structures, schools, and media instill collective beliefs about achievement and happiness. Recognizing that these limitations are learned perceptions and not inherent truths is the first step to reclaiming the power of the mindset. Cell biologist Bruce Lipton backs this idea with science. Your perceptions are your beliefs. They are programs that you inherited or acquired. When you learn that you are the programmer, you can change the program. It is crucial to understand that not all beliefs operate at a conscious level. Subconscious beliefs are the most influential. They are formed in early childhood and operate automatically. For example, a person may consciously desire success, but subconsciously believe they are not deserving of wealth, leading them to sabotage opportunities. Changing these hidden narratives requires deliberate effort and persistence. To dismantle the suffering caused by these subconscious thoughts, spiritual teacher Byron Katie teaches radical questioning. Can you know with absolute certainty that thought is true? The unquestioned mind is the only cause of our suffering. Techniques like affirmations, visualization, and cognitive reprogramming are vital for overriding the old programming. Dr. Joe Dispenza synthesizes the transformation needed for this process. If you want to change your life, you have to change your state of being. And to change your state of being, you have to change the way you think and the way you feel. By applying these techniques, we replace limiting narratives, overcoming the brain's natural resistance to change and activating the architecture of an unstoppable mind. If you feel you are ready to change the filter of your mind, if your soul is telling you there is more, write "My focus is unstoppable" in the comments right now.
The power of thought and perception. Your reality is an interpretation. Thoughts are the seeds from which beliefs grow, shaping how we interpret reality, respond to challenges, and create the life we live. Every action, every emotion, and every decision is preceded by a thought, whether conscious or subconscious. Our minds are constantly processing information based on past experiences, social influences, and internalized narratives to form perceptions that define what we believe is possible. The truth is that the way we think influences not only our personal experiences, but the very reality we inhabit. Thought is the foundation of mindset, and mindset is the foundation of action. The mind does not experience reality as it is. It experiences reality as it interprets it. Two people can witness the same event and leave with completely different understandings based on the thoughts that filter their perception. The mountain itself remains unchanged, but their experiences differ completely. This is why two people with the same level of talent and resources can achieve very different results. The difference lies not in external circumstances, but in the way they interpret them. As the neurologist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl stated, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." This is the essence of perception. Reality is not simply what happens, but how we choose to see what happens. By changing the way we think, we fundamentally alter our experience of the world. The brain is bombarded with millions of pieces of sensory information every second, but we can only consciously process a fraction of them. The mechanism that determines which information we focus on and what we filter out is called the Reticular Activating System, RAS, a network of neurons in the brainstem responsible for directing attention. The RAS functions as a mental gatekeeper, highlighting information that aligns with our dominant thoughts and beliefs while ignoring everything else. If you believe opportunities are scarce, your RAS will filter reality in a way that confirms this belief. This is why successful people often seem to attract opportunities. They have trained their minds to notice them. Personal growth guru Wayne Dyer captured the essence of this mechanism. Our intentions create our reality. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Thoughts do not exist in isolation. They trigger emotional responses that influence our actions. Every emotion we feel is the result of a preceding thought, even if we are not conscious of it. The mind interprets an event, assigns a meaning to it, and generates an emotional response based on that interpretation. If someone receives constructive criticism and thinks, "This is an opportunity to improve," they will feel motivated. If they think, "I am being judged and criticized," they will feel defensive. Therefore, changing our thoughts is the most powerful way to regulate emotions. This is the basis of cognitive behavioral therapy. To dismantle the suffering caused by these subconscious thoughts, spiritual teacher Byron Katie teaches radical questioning. Can you know with absolute certainty that thought is true? The unquestioned mind is the only cause of our suffering. Since thoughts shape perception, influence emotions, and direct focus, the key to transforming mindset lies in reprogramming habitual thought patterns. The first step is self-awareness, identifying recurring thoughts. Once identified, they must be actively replaced with empowering alternatives. Techniques such as affirmations, visualization, and deliberate reframing are effective methods. Dr. Joe Dispenza synthesizes the necessary transformation. If you want to change your life, you have to change your state of being. And to change your state of being, you have to change the way you think and the way you feel. To master thought is to master life. When we realize that reality is shaped not by what happens to us, but by how we think about what happens, we unlock the ability to reshape our experiences from the inside out. If you are ready to take control of your RAS and rewrite the interpretation of your reality, write "My thought directs the focus" in the comments right now.
The power of self-image, becoming the person you believe you are. The foundation of every achievement, every failure, and every experience in life is the self-image. It is the silent architect that shapes behavior, confidence, and potential. People do not act according to who they wish to be, they act in alignment with who they believe they are. The mind is a powerful mechanism that constantly works to keep reality synchronized with self-perception. If a person sees themselves as intelligent, capable, and worthy of success, their thoughts and actions will naturally reflect that belief. Conversely, if they see themselves as inadequate, their subconscious will find ways to validate that perception, often through self-sabotage or avoidance of challenges. The surgeon and pioneer of psychocybernetics, Maxwell Maltz, stated it clearly. The key to changing a habit or a behavior is to change your self-image. Once your self-image changes, everything else is consistent. The self-image is not just a reflection of the past, but a blueprint for the future. It dictates whether a person moves forward with confidence or retreats with hesitation. The key to transforming life is not found in external circumstances, but in the remodeling of one's internal self-perception. From birth, the self-image is shaped by experiences, feedback, and the interpretation of events. Every word heard, every success or failure, every label given by others becomes part of an internal narrative that solidifies into an identity, a mental framework that defines what a person believes they are capable of doing. Psychologists have studied the impact of self-fulfilling prophecies, where the belief creates the result, and the result strengthens the belief. This cycle of limitation continues unless consciously interrupted. Another great influence on self-image is social comparison, which in a digital age often distorts reality, making success seem distant. Recognizing that the self-image is a construction, not an absolute truth, is the first step to freeing oneself from labels like "I'm just not a confident person" or "I've always been bad with money." Neuroscience shows that the brain is capable of rewiring itself, and to free yourself, you must identify limiting labels and question their origins, creating space for a new self-image built on empowerment and self-mastery. To remodel the self-image, visualization is a powerful tool, as the mind does not differentiate between real and vividly imagined experiences. Olympic athletes use mental rehearsal to improve performance. Similarly, we must see ourselves executing our new identity with absolute clarity. This means feeling the emotions, confidence, and energy of the new self. The mystical philosopher Neville Goddard taught us the power of this mental act. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The more vividly this is practiced, the more natural it will become, and the subconscious will begin to align actions with this new identity. Behavior shapes identity as much as thoughts do. The mind seeks to align internal beliefs with external actions. Therefore, adopting small but deliberate actions aligned with a desired identity is crucial. Habit expert James Clear summarizes it masterfully. Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. The phrase, "fake it till you make it," is not about deception. It is about training the mind through intentional behavior. Every small victory lays the foundation for a new self-image. The self-image is not formed in isolation. The people, media, and environments one relates to constantly reinforce certain beliefs. Those who surround themselves with negativity will find it difficult to cultivate a powerful self-image. Conversely, being close to people who embody success and resilience naturally raises one's own standards. This is why mentorship and positive influence are vital. To accelerate transformation, one must intentionally curate their environment, limiting exposure to negativity and increasing engagement with content and people who reflect the identity they wish to build. Self-image is the foundation of everything in life. It is not an unchangeable trait, but a construct that can be rebuilt. True change does not begin with external success. It begins inside, when the self-image is elevated. The person who sees themselves as capable, powerful, and worthy of success will naturally make decisions that reflect that reality. Those who master their self-image master their destiny. If you are ready to claim the identity of your highest self and stop acting like the old version, write "I am unstoppable" in the comments right now.
We have dismantled the architecture of your mind. Now you understand that your beliefs are programs and that your self-image is the thermostat that sabotages your success. You have the map. You have reprogrammed the base. But the real battle is not fought in theory. It is fought in the moment the alarm clock rings or when you face the fear of criticism. The greatest lesson no one taught you is this: your mind is unstoppable, but your fear is inescapable. Doubt and self-sabotage are not character flaws. They are survival strategies of a brain that prefers toxic familiarity to glorious uncertainty. Your mind knows what it has to do, but the subconscious always asks, "Why do I know what I have to do, but I don't do it?" My challenge to you is not to think differently. My challenge is to act differently. In the next video, we will talk about our worst enemy, fear and doubt. We are going to confront that enemy face to face. We are going to go beyond positive thinking to give you the key tool, the mechanism to dismantle analysis paralysis and self-deception. I'm going to teach you to master your inner dialogue, to transform that critical voice into your greatest ally, and to generate the unwavering self-confidence that launches you into action. If you have ever felt that you are one step away from success, but fear pulls you back, don't miss this chapter. Thank you for investing time in yourself and for assuming the noble burden of your own destiny. If you know someone who struggles with their beliefs or self-image, share this video, give it a like, and subscribe. Remember, knowledge is power, but the control of fear is freedom. Until next time.